Connections for Life. I'm Ted P.
Or Sharakubo. My cup's green, but you know what it is.
How come the new theme of everything that you come on is a drink? Last week it was a beer. Today it was a
Gotta have
margarita.
something to go with it, right? It's cold.
What's in the cup?
It's cold in the tropic.
It's windy. I'm Joe Surratt, everyone. How are you?
Hang on. Best thing. Look at my hair, first of all.
What's going on? Wow. This is
wow.
You're
Chad,
40. You're over 40 now.
Is that the beach in Tampa? Were you down at the Super Bowl watching it?
Yeah, I'm here now. It's great. A little windy.
A little windy?
Yeah.
The subpar bowl. Sorry.
Oh, so how was it down there, Chad? How was your weekend?
My weekend was good. Spent some time watching hockey as I do every weekend. That'll go away in about 4 or 5 weeks, though, as the season comes to end here. Watched some of the Super Bowl, and then it glitched out on me, so I didn't watch the rest of it.
She gave up.
I did.
And you're illegal streaming?
Yeah, it's 100%.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
No problem.
How about you, Joe?
Good. I had the girls this weekend. I don't even know. It's like, it's like one of those weekends where you don't do anything, but it's over in a flash. You know what I mean? We had a busy day yesterday. We went out and played in the snow and built a snow fort. Made some brownies, some nachos. We did a Rube Goldberg thing in the house. So it was kind of fun. I don't know. We just kind of hung out, watched the Super Bowl. My kids complained for however long it was on that they didn't want to watch it, but I forced them to. We're mad about the halftime show because they didn't know who the weekend was, and then I put them yelling at me. So that was my weekend, but here we are again, right?
Yes.
Here we are.
What about you, Teddy?
Any updates? Oh, Teddy.
I just did. I coached some basketball. My wife and I went on a date with some friends of ours Friday night. We had a dinner date.
Would you guys go Applebee's? It's the only thing open around here.
And then we coached some basketball, and then during the Super Bowl, so Chad participated in my fundraiser, and he almost won a square.
Yeah. I did almost win. It was really close.
I actually won a square.
Did you?
Yeah, I won the second.
Good stuff.
I won the
How
second.
come I didn't know about this?
He told you last week. I wondered how the squares got moved all around the middle of the game. It's so weird. I was wondering.
Stop it, you liar!
Did you tell us about that? I don't even remember that.
100%. We talked about it.
Short-term memory loss.
I'm sorry. I wouldn't have won anyways. I'll just send you the money that I would have used for losing.
You said
whatever that amount is.
500 on Square.
Is that what I told you?
Yeah, 500.
I'm also known as a liar. So yeah, no dice.
Yeah, so that was my Super Bowl, and then we're back at it here today. So we have a awesome guest for us. Why don't you tell us a little bit about her, Chad?
This week we're very happy to have Heather Hill from AMP, which is formerly known as NACE and SSPC. Those two forces have joined together to become AMP, which is actually a pretty exciting thing. They both kind of did the same thing in the corrosion world before that. So they kind of competed actually for certifications and things like that for inspectors. So those two organizations have come together. Heather's been in the industry of essentially like the nonprofit sector for about 10, 11 years, and she loves it. You'll hear how we ask her how she kind of got in the corrosion world, and like most people, by kind of dumb luck. And it's fun to talk to her, though. It's fun to talk about hear about what she's doing with AMP and the whole merger and everything else. So,
well, that is an exciting interview. I couldn't help when you were describing her bio there and describing NACE and everything, and I wanted to go to the old Captain Planet line. When our powers combine, we are.
I don't even know who that is.
Me neither. I'm gonna Google it.
Never watched that cartoonist children?
We're a little bit older, man. You got to remember that.
That call me old.
I was like Smurfs and like Flintstones and like the Jetsons.
Oh.
Maybe a little Gummy Bears.
Punky Brewster too.
Captain Planet. Okay.
I will. Right when we're done.
Punky Brewster.
All right. Without further ado, welcome to Connections for Life, Heather. Hello, Heather, and welcome to Connections for Life.
Hi. Thanks for having me, Ted.
What's up,
Just
Heather?
Ted?
How are you? Just
And Joe and Chad.
Jeez, right there, right down the hill.
Whatever. Start over. This is brutal.
Okay, I'm not starting this over.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Nice about me.
Hey, Heather, how's it going? We're happy to have you. Thanks for coming. Obviously, we've been talking to you a bit of specifically lately with what's going on with the Corrosion Expo and your willingness to help support that. But I guess the question we have for you to start off with, which is similar to everything else we ask, is how did you end up in the corrosion industry?
I think I have the same answer that most people do, which is by accident. So I'm actually, believe it or not, a liberal arts major. And
Wow.
working for
Way
a convention.
to pick a direction.
Yeah. I was working for a convention and visitors bureau at the time and had just a really awful day and started looking online and found a membership coordinator position for NACE International. You know, in between breaks that day, kind of filled out an application, didn't think much about it, and a couple interviews, and more than 10 years later, here I am and love it. Wouldn't change it.
That's awesome. That's funny how that works, isn't it? How your course of your trajectory, it just changes. I like when I came to UBSCO, I was like totally bored with my other job, and I found a monster.com post, and I was like, well, I'll throw my name on there, and here I am 10 years later. Crazy.
Yeah, it's just one bad day, and here I am.
I thought you were going to say something else, but.
And it's such a, the corrosion world is such a niche industry, as you know. I mean, that's what your whole organization's built on. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do every day, or what gets you going for AMP? Really, what's your role?
So officially, I am the membership director for engagement, which means a lot. And
sounds important,
doesn't it? It looks really good on a business card too. But it's what I love about membership is that it really touches every piece of the organization, right? All the product areas, it brings everything together. Whether that's knowledge, so access to standards, education, books, the network, working with chapters and sections, your local groups, events, and even the savings, right? So it takes everything in the organization and pulls it together. And that's what I love about it. And really, we focus on making sure that we're delivering the benefits and the value to the members of the organization.
That's awesome.
Well, I just want to ask, because I don't think maybe everybody doesn't know. Obviously, you guys merged. You were two companies that became AMP. Can we just, this really wasn't in what we talked about before, but I was just curious, can you kind of walk people through that and what became what and why you guys are named AMP, what it stands for, things like that now?
Sure. So NACE International and SSPC, the Society for Protective Coatings, several times over the course of the last 20 or so years, it's been brought up, and the organizations have looked at potentially merging, and it just never was the right time. And it was one of those things that about 2 years ago, it surfaced again. And, it was the right time. We had the right leaders, the right member leaders and staff leaders, and realizing that there's a lot of overlap in what both organizations do.
Sure.
And we both have the same goal: protecting people, assets, the environment, advancing knowledge, elevating the industry, and really making sure that we were bringing the best of both worlds into a single organization, which is AMP, which is now officially the Association for Materials Protection and Performance. So January 6th of 2021, that was our official birthday. That was our launch. And it was a lot of work bringing it together, but here we are. It's exciting, it's new, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been a roller coaster, and it's kept us all busy.
I just think, I sit over here and I have NACE accreditations, and I also obviously know about SSPC standards. So sometimes it's amazing to think of those two huge things coming together, because they have gone hand in hand in the specification writing for, as long as the two are around, and it's pretty special what you guys have done, especially in the corrosion world. And I know Joe and Ted, they aren't big corrosion people. I have a corrosion background, so I know how much of a feat that must have been to bring those two together. And I can't imagine what's still out there to do. Maybe give us one of the biggest challenges that you had when those two organizations came together.
Well, I'll say this: we're still bringing it together. So the product areas, there's a lot of programs. Our website is still under construction, right? Membership, for example, we don't have a AMP membership yet. We're still operating our NACE and SSPC membership models right now. And we're looking to bring together a new membership model. It's already defined, but we still have to put some pieces together to be able to deliver that the second half of 2021. So it's kind of a rolling launch. And one of the challenges we have is just communicating that, because there's still a lot of work to be done. I would love to think that January 6th, we switched to light,
And it just happened. No.
done, but nothing's that easy. So still a lot to be done, but a lot that we've accomplished already too.
It's awesome.
Well, I know you've been there for 10 years. You've seen probably a lot of things change since your time was there. It's a little different time now, obviously, and with the mergers, I think there's probably a lot of, let's say uncertainties, but just you guys are just dealing with new processes, procedures, a new way to work. I guess, has there been any conversation internally about for you guys what the future holds for the corrosion industry, or what some of the things that you guys are looking to do in the next, 6, 12, 18 months?
Everything's changing all the time, right?
Pretty much every day.
Merger. Yeah. But I think one of the things that we're doing as staff is really following some of the trends and making sure that we're staying up to date as well, so that we can deliver that for our members. As technologies advance, we're going to have to make sure that we adapt our education and training programs.
Sure.
And things of that nature. And I think one of the other things that we're seeing, which is still fairly new for both organizations, is more of an emphasis on sustainability, ensuring that any new infrastructure is built to last and that existing infrastructure is maintained to use life. And, those are things that we're making sure that we're meeting the needs of our members in the industry and providing the knowledge that needs to be there. So everything's constantly changing and evolving, and we've got to stay on top of that to be able to deliver that knowledge and information to our membership.
Awesome. It is. It really, things change every day. It's especially right now. It's just absolutely.
Yeah, it's a weird time.
What a crazy time. One of the things I wanted to hit on, and maybe it'll help ease a little bit of the pain of repetitive questions to some people if they watch the show, is what are maybe some of the biggest frequently asked questions that you get on your end right now after all this merger? Because I do know quite a few people that have CIP level 3s, 4s, all that stuff, that are probably wondering if anything changes on their end.
So that is a frequently asked question. The frequent response is we're still working on it.
Fair enough. That's fair.
Which, it's a lot to bring together. Both organizations, NACE and SSPC, both had more than 70 years of history. And so trying to bring that history together and making sure that we're doing the best way for the industry is going to take a lot of work, and we want to do it right. So we are getting those questions. What does it mean for my certification and my CIP? Is it, going to change? And luckily, what I'll say is we've got the best of the best. We really have some excellent member leaders working on this. Originally, we had integration teams, and these integration teams were working with staff. We actually even contracted with a company that specializes in mergers. And they were working together to help us iron out a lot of the details. So we have these recommendations that came out of these integration teams that are now rolling over to program committees. And these program committees are all member led. They have about 15 members on each one, and they're going to continuously work.
We know a couple people that are on those committees, and it amazes me all the time because they're very proud of it too. A lot of the people that I know that are on those committees of the new AMP organization, very proud people, very proud that they've been selected to do that too. So congrats to you guys for setting it up that way too.
Well, we had a short window for applications to kind of call for volunteers if anyone was interested. And I think in that short window, we had almost 1,000 volunteers. Wow. And that's awesome. It was awesome. And, and like I said, we have the member support to help us through this. So as we're still trying to identify what everything looks like at AMP, we do have the best of the best helping us, which is great.
That is great.
Well, I know that it's been a different time, right? We've been dealing with COVID for almost 12 months now, and a lot has changed. I know that you guys have, had to move things around as far as your shows and everything else that you normally do. I guess we just want to touch base on what, events you guys have lined up and how people might be able to get more information, where to direct them to, if there's any, questions from them on that end.
Sure. Well, as you know, Corrosion 2021 was originally scheduled for Salt Lake City. That is now going to be a 100% virtual event. It is scheduled for April 19th through 30th. And what's really great is that at the end of the event, anyone that's registered, you'll have access to all of the Corrosion 2021 content on demand for 6 months. So,
Okay.
Coatings Plus, that was SSPC's annual show, typically held in February. That was pushed back to December 13th through 16th. It's going to be in Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, you can't merge them yet, huh? Can't get them there.
At least they picked a warm place for December.
Yeah, they did.
You didn't say like Buffalo.
I already told you I don't like the snow. I'm from Texas.
Oh, right.
Good point.
But 2022, that's going to be the first time that those events merge. And it's going to actually be for March 6th through 10th in San Antonio, Texas of 2022. So again, merge, we're still working out the details, but that event, at least we know the date and the location, and that's going to be the first merged AMP annual conference, and we're looking forward to it.
San Antonio is one of my favorite places I've ever been for an ACE conference. So it was what was that, 8 years ago now, somewhere around there.
12, 13
yeah,
maybe?
somewhere
was
around.
It that long ago?
So much fun. Yeah, that's when I came. That's when, essentially right before I came to work for Upstart.
Oh my gosh,
I ran into them there.
Seems...
Yeah, it's unreal. But what a great place to have a show too. Just an awesome, fun place. So it's cool.
So I have like 3 random questions that popped up because I fly on the wall in this interview.
What's your favorite color?
No, you might have said this, but how many employees are now under AMP that when it was silent?
So there's about 200.
Okay. Wow.
And
how many members is a good question. How many members? Sorry, Ted.
Yeah, go.
So 4 members, and again, we don't have a joint membership. One of the things that's holding back on delivering that is a joint database. So we've got some IT implications, pull everyone into a joint and deliver that membership. But NACE currently has about 400 corporate members, and SSPC has 900. So with the overlap that we have, we're expecting an AMP to have about 1,200 corporate members.
Wow.
Holy cow.
And we're looking at together a joint membership of about 36,000 individuals.
Holy moly. That's awesome. Unreal.
And
can they
ask one more question? As you know, Chad mentioned, I don't have a background in corrosion. I have a no ground in corrosion. There's not even a background to like think about. It's a no ground.
No ground.
Liberal arts degree.
Subterranean background.
Yes. Winology. Right there. With that said, though, with the UPSCO Corrosion Expo coming up, and you working so closely with Joe and Chad on all of that, all the details and behind the scenes on it and stuff like that, and the accreditation aspect of it, have you seen anything like this before in your time, in your experience there, to just see something come together like this? And if you
calm down, Ted.
Was it?
Thank you for pumping my tires. You make me feel good, though. You made me feel
I know. My head just.
I want her opinion on it. She's a professional.
So here's what I'll say is that in the last year with COVID and just, everyone staying at home, I think what we've seen is just a need for connections and building our, the continuation of building our network and delivering content, making sure that we're serving the industry that we can under the circumstances that we're in. And it is absolutely amazing to see what's going on across the industry. And this Corrosion Expo is, very much a part of that, and bringing content together to make sure that we're meeting the industry needs, the corrosion industry, and providing education. I think typically where we would see online events, they're, 6 months plus of planning, 6 months to a year, and a lot of work and effort. Everyone has really refined the process of, let's get that content out now and get it out quickly because there's a need. And like I said, meeting the circumstances that we're in, it's absolutely amazing to see things like this Corrosion Expo come together.
Thank you. Yeah, we're just too callous to know that we need to plan longer. We just try to squeeze everything right in. It's a lot of fun. We appreciate your support on this, and working with you has been just a blast. I know that we've probably bombarded you with questions and and been a bit of a bother, but we appreciate the support that comes from you and AMP and everybody else that's involved. So we just want to say thanks. Thanks for coming on the show. Thanks for talking with us. We wish you guys a ton of luck. I know you got a big, you're like 2 steps into a 2-mile journey with this integration piece, and I know it's probably very challenging, but I think you guys have really good ideas, and conceptually you're gonna push through this really, really well. So wish you the best of luck, and I guess we'll be talking to you more as the Corrosion Expo gets closer.
Yes, you will. You can't get rid of me that easy, but I do.
Don't worry.
Does that mean I'm going to expect a couple emails and questions after this?
We were going to try and get rid of Ted and keep you.
Excuse me. Yeah. This is right now an interview for a replacement connection for Lyso.
Like episode 16 or 17. I just keep showing up.
He doesn't really work here anymore.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
No, it's a lot of fun, Heather. Thank you.
Meet you, Heather. I really do look forward to working more in the future with you if the opportunity arises. But I know I speak for Chad and Joe when I say this. Thank you for joining us on the show. Yeah. We really appreciate your time, and again, it's a bright future held at AMP.
Thank you. And thanks for having me. I appreciate it, you guys.
Thank you, Heather.
Heather, great interview. Thank you for joining us. We really, really appreciate all your insight, all your knowledge on this subject, and excited for the things that AMP has in the future.
Would you say you're amped?
Yeah, really?
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Wow.
In all seriousness, Heather, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for all you've done for us with the expo, and helping us along with the PDH hours and everything else you've helped us with and guided us. We couldn't be anywhere near where we are today without your help and assistance. We really do appreciate it. Wish you guys a ton of luck over there at AMP, and we'll see what the future holds. Excited about your upcoming virtual show in April, so that'll be fun too. So
I'm excited to have her. I'm excited to have her at our upscoexpo.com. Sorry, random plug.
What is she doing at the Upsco?
Little plug. She's going to actually be our keynote and come on and talk to us about some of the issues that people have, some of the big questions, things that we talk a little bit about in the interview. But we'll also just talk about, I think, what AMP does and how that whole NACE and SSPC thing came together. But that brings us to the good point of the upscoexpo.com.
What now? The what now?
upscoexpo.com.
The bet though.
To register for free. It's March 16th, 17th, and 18th, and it's basics, tracks of corrosion, and also some specialized courses for some people that have been in the industry a little bit longer. It's all free, and we're offering PDH hours, so go there, sign up.
Now, PDH stands for professional development hours.
You knew that. You didn't have to look like you didn't know.
I know. Why'd you try to pretend?
You tried to make it look better. You could have just said professional development hours.
The one thing I wanted to add too is we're also doing something different at the tail end. We're doing just a roundtable of some of the guests and presenters and some of the other people in the industry that weren't able to present. So just a little pump to Dave Cutlip from Dominion Energy, Brent Schuler from NiSource, Chris McKinley from Southern Cathodic, Tom Connors from People's Gas, Tommy Williams from New England CP, Don Doubleday with National Grid, retired. Frank Rampton with Trenton, and Chad and myself. So I will offer no value to that other than to moderate, but I think we got a good group of guys, and we're really interested in getting some topics and posted here soon so you guys can see them.
Joe's the moderator.
I think I just screwed up my whole thing.
Yeah, he's like the game show host.
I want to watch just to see how.
Our boss was just calling me, and I answered it accidentally and then hung up on him. So
I'm sure he won't call you back.
Yeah, hold on.
All right. What's that? What's our next?
Sorry,
segment?
Anthony.
Petty, isn't it?
Industry update. So we got a couple things going on with the Distribution Contractors Association. They have taken the spring meeting and it's gone virtual. It is March 2nd and 3rd, and you can register right now at DCA's website. Additionally, they put out the new schedule for the annual meeting, which has now moved from Arizona to Orlando, Florida, and will take place on July 27th through the 31st down in Grand Lakes, Florida. So
we still got our bet.
Oh, that it's not going to happen?
Yeah.
The double or nothing bet?
You're not gonna pay me for the Cowboys anyway, so what's the difference?
Back from the Cowboys not making the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh, the Cowboys didn't make the Super Bowl? Maybe you should make the bet for next year now that it's over.
Maybe they would have, and we would have had a more interesting game.
No, probably they would be blown out by either of those teams.
So good job, Teddy, on those utility things. Joe, I think that brings it to.
Oh, the gas fact. Hold on, I had something here kind of neat. So as I talked about, guys, in the past, we talked about Rembrandt Peale in previous episodes, who kind of founded natural gas utility in 1816, but the industry really kind of took off in 1859 when a former rail conductor named Colonel Edwin dug the first well and found oil and natural gas 69 feet below the Earth's surface. So little shout out to Colonel Edwin.
Now I know why you were so mad about how Colonel spelled earlier.
Yeah, I don't like that word. It doesn't even make sense. I don't know. The English language is sometimes very challenging, especially when you have words that just phonetically don't make sense. So not to deviate though, but little shout out to Colonel Edwin there for love that photograph of myself. Thank you, Chad, for including that. Just some things we can't forget, right? Appreciate that.
All right, guys. Well, another episode in the books. 44.
Episode 44.
Who knows anymore?
Of these in the books. That is scary. Plus numerous employee profiles, roundtables with Jim and Jane.
Let's do a little fun thing. Let's add them all up. We'll all take a guess now at what we think the total number of recordings are, and then we'll figure it out next week. Go ahead, Teddy. You guys first. What'd you say?
60.
56.
$1.
I don't know if it's 50.
Am I playing this wrong? No, I'll say I'm gonna say 62. Why not? I'll change it up a little bit. Go a little higher.
50,
so
60 for me, 62 for Joe.
Yeah, and is that it? Is that all we got to talk about? Oh, I just wanted to talk about next week because we have a cool guest on. If you guys have seen the promo with Ronnie Castillo from JS Products, cool new tool, the Scat Wrench, completely new to the industry, awesome, saving some elbows and shoulders and joints. So I'm really excited to get Ronnie on to talk about that a little bit more. And if you guys want any more information, reach out to us and we'll be happy to pass it along.
Man, we're dropping the promo.
Some horses.
Right?
I figured we were getting ready to ride off into the sunset to bring the horses.
This is almost getting like too much. Like
everybody has a role.
You're getting too good at the cueing of your background.
Everybody has a role.
I'm still figuring mine out. All right, guys. Until next week, we want to click like, subscribe, follow, comment, all the stuff you're not going to do and you don't listen to every week anyway.
And share.
Important part, please.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, whoa.